Happiness through curiosity on the Ranveer Show. As an MNC owner, like a multinational company owner, what have you learned specifically about the Indian market?
It's very price sensitive. When you work with an American, they will want the beautiful software and they will pay whatever the price. They want the best, beautiful, clean software. Indian, they ask the price first. How much does it cost without having seen the software? So it's a very price sensitive market. You could have the best software in the world. You have to be at an affordable price. It's a fast deciding market. So like in Europe, or the worst is Africa. Africa, they take months to decide. Europe, it's okay. India is a little bit faster. What we do transform companies. So it's massive impact on the companies. So we have sales cycles could be 1-3 months for small companies. India, it's a little bit reduced. Yes. So
Indians want to move with speed and they'll go for the cheapest option.
yes.
That's how you
And
look at it.
one of the main issue I have with Indian customer is that they think they can do everything on their own. They never want to buy services. So they say, I'll just buy the software, I will do myself. But when you change your accounting, you change your inventory management, you change a purchase, sale, your website, you do a new website. Even though our software is super simple, it's better if we help them with service. But most Indian companies try to do that on their own first, and then they call only if they have issues. Where in the US, they will say, I need someone that does everything for us. I will do nothing and just buy a lot of service to be sure that we do the job for them.
One layer deep, psychologically speaking, why do you think that difference is there between America and India?
I think a lot comes down to price. If they don't want to services because they don't want to buy service, I believe. I'm always surprised when you go to a shop in India, you want to buy, Kit Kat, chocolate bar. There is always the 10 rupees Kit Kat, the 20 rupees Kit Kat, the 35 rupees Kit Kat. It's all about price. And I understand. I mean, it's not the same level of quality of life. Americans have so much money and credit. They can buy everything on credit. Here, it's more rational, I would say.
People are more practical about going about.
They are more savvy.
They focus
for
on
sure.
saving money more.
Yes, and something that changed a lot is sometimes in India you throw humans at the problem, where in the other countries you try to automate to have less employee, less cost, less. In India, some workers are so cheap that sometimes you just put more workers to solve the issue. One of the example I had is our accounting software. It's accountant, they receive their job in the morning, they get a pile of bills and they have to record the data in the system. It's a bit shitty. You record data every day. It's not very interesting. Now with artificial intelligence, all this is processed automatically. You don't need to record anymore. You just put that in the scanner and 98% is recorded automatically for you. Only 2% you have to check. And so we do that in Europe, in US, massive success. Everyone loved it because they have less time to record, more time to validate. The accountant can do tax optimization, interesting things rather than recording data. And then I came to India and showed that to accountant. And accountant were doing the math. Our system at the time were costing 6 rupees per bill, which for me was nothing. And then they do the math. One accountant cost me this, and then they do how many? It cost me 3 rupees to record manually in the system. Why would I use your artificial intelligence that costs 8 rupees? So they prefer to pay people to record manually. And that's one of the examples where we had to change. I had to say, okay, no, this is free. Artificial intelligence or your vendor bills to record automatically. We had to put it free in India. Otherwise, they will just put small hands doing it.
I'll give you like the Indian startup entrepreneurship perspective. Again, it's about cost saving, because I think Indians have learned now that successful startups are built out of being profitable and not just raising money.
Yeah.
So everyone's trying to bootstrap, and we know that our advantage is that there's a big population. So you can get work done for cheap through human beings. I think that's the big mentality difference.
Yeah. You have this capacity of having affordable jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what Americans are understanding and Indians don't is that sometimes having the right tool, like a beautiful website instead of a shitty website, or a quotation that looks nice, improve your conversion rate on sales. These are the things that sometimes India are too sensitive to the cost and miss the leverage to sales. Things that they can do that would improve their sales.
Yeah, I agree with this. Like, there's too much of a focus on saving money.
Yes.
And not focus on like creating a beautiful front.
Or an efficient service support or efficient operation.
It's probably also because like just generally, so I feel we've got independence like 75 years ago. And only in the last 4-5 years am I really seeing a drastic change in India because the internet reached the rest of India. So people are getting education about how the world works. You know, even with this podcast, I'm sure we're going to have listeners who don't speak English but understand English. And they're just tuning in to see what a European is saying about the country so that they can learn. So India's like learning all these things, but the focus is totally about saving money.
Yeah, which in some point is good. That's the reason why they can afford development service to the US and the Europe. But in some point, they have so much to win to understand how to make an efficient business with quality support, quality tools, good website. If Indian companies understand that, then they can skyrocket because it doesn't cost too much today.
Yeah. Also, if Indian companies follow what you're saying in terms of efficient service, good looks, in terms of the UI, UX, we'll be able to sell abroad. And I think that's what a lot of Indian organizations are not being able to do.
Yes.
Like in terms of our websites don't look great. The UI, UX quality in India as of now is not at the world standard.
No, it's not. Yeah.
But in Europe, when you see Swedish companies, when you see, you know, British companies, the look, the quality and feel is very, very different.
Yes.
I think that's the big weakness we have in India. I see it changing a little bit. Like we have UI, UX designer influencers now who teach UI, UX design. But that's one person.
Yeah. And that's why I think Odoo has a role to play in India, because that's what we are bringing to the Indian companies is tools. All of these, getting a beautiful website, automating your accounting, efficient CRM or help desk tool. It's all about tools. When you have good tools, you can perform better in a more efficient way. And that's exactly what we do. So that's why I relocated myself to India, is to say, okay, there is a big gap. There will be a big need because Indians are growing fast and understanding very quickly. So a lot of these companies who are doing everything on spreadsheet today, they will need better tools tomorrow. And that's why we are focusing on this market today.
What have you learned in the last 9 months? Have you been able to educate people?
A lot. When I arrived, we were selling 10 new clients per month 1 year ago. And now the rhythm is we are acquiring 350 new clients per month. And it's growing like that. Huh? So I'm waiting 6 months and we'll be at 1,000 new clients per month.
And this is just word of mouth?
It's just word of mouth.
In my eyes, I think you're doing something very brave because it's not easy to expand a software business in India for a foreign brand.
No, you're wrong.
It's easy?
It's easy.
Really?
Yes.
I'll tell you where I'm coming from. All my foreigner friends who are trying to set up business in India, they have trouble in understanding the Indian market.
That's for sure. You have to understand them. That's why you need to come here. It would have never worked if I wouldn't have relocated myself here.
Like you learned it by staying. You need to learn.
But Indians are very open. Compare that to China or very open. It's a democracy. It's very international. A lot of people are speaking English. I mean, all the checkboxes are green in India.
What are the checkboxes for you?
But that English-speaking country, very open to international business, big need of growth, expansion, GDP growing, and so on. These three alone, I think 10 years ago, everyone was talking about BRICS. You know, the Brazil, Russia, India, China, the big countries where you need to invest. Brazil, inflation are killing everything. Russia is in war. And rupees have been divided by 3 because of the war. China, impossible for foreigners because everything's closed. And even if you succeed, the government will catch your company and acquire it. The only missing countries in the BRIC today is India. So if you have to choose one country to invest, it is India. And if I have to choose a second one, I would pick India too.
Really?
Yes. There is no other country with that level of opportunities.
Wow. Okay. Very good perspective.
Yeah.
It's honestly something that Indians love hearing because Indians love hearing foreigners talk about India. But I don't know how much the world knows about what you're saying. Because when I go abroad and I talk to people about expanding the businesses in India, they always say something like, yeah, but we're not able to understand the Indian mind completely.
Now, most of the world don't understand because our company, we do 400 million turnover, 550 this year. India, we were doing 5 millions. So when I said I will go to India because I bet on this country, people will say, we do 5 millions on this country, but and we do 500 in the group. So why would we focus? But it's because people don't see the opportunity. If you do it right, you can. I mean, the biggest companies in the world, like Tata, 700,000 employees, it's crazy. Huh? The largest in Belgium is probably us with 2,000, 3,000 employees, 4,000, but only 1,500 in Belgium.
If you enjoyed this clip from the Ranveer Show, we've uploaded a ton of other clips related to a ton of other topics. So explore the channel because there's something for everyone.